that interaction between Matthew Agambire and President John Dramani Mahama, where they were having a brief session about the size of .5 FM. You recall that I was taking you through the various Edinkra symbols on the outfit. I must tell you that when I was watching on television and I saw the Edinkra symbols were actually one of the things that caught my eye. And I know how usually there is communication with symbols. And when when you put everything together, you would know that a lot of thinking process went into the selection of those symbols. I would want to find out if the president had a hand in it, in the selection of those symbols, or whether this was all Matthew's handwriting. It's fascinating, eh? I was listening, or I chanced on something somewhere about how early he had started planning for this outfit. And if you get to know how early he had started it, you would see how come the outfit came out that way. Good morning to you, Matthew. How are you?
Good morning. I'm good.
I hope you're well.
I'm doing very well.
Happy New Year. Kindly draw close to your microphone for me.
Happy New Year too.
Okay. And many, many, many happy returns. We pray for more outfits.
Thank you.
That we'll talk about more and more.
Thank you.
Okay, so tell us about your company first of all. So I'm sure it didn't spring out of anywhere. Tell us about the company you have and then what you've been doing so far.
Let me first thank God for this day and the opportunity, and then also to thank your cherished viewers. Before I can delve into the company, I don't know what exactly you want to know about the company, because that's quite a broad question.
So first of all, so let's start from this way. When did you start making clothes?
Somewhere in 2017, but
2017.
Yes,
okay.
But I was just a freelance, person.
Okay.
So I would usually walk to a customer, and then get the business. Then I take it to a tailor somewhere.
Oh.
Sitting in some corner somewhere that I felt
could do the job.
And then it gets done, and then I deliver to the customer.
Okay. And did it start with your love for clothes yourself? Or you wore outfits? You know how sometimes you wear an outfit and someone says like, oh, I like it. Where did you make it? And then you start that way. Or you loved it already before?
Well, I think establishing a fashion brand to me is the real personification of when they say follow your passion.
Okay.
That's what I followed. I actually love fashion.
Okay.
Also, I mean, when I was a student, there were times I would wear something, I would go out and they'll be like, are you a model? Are you a model? Those kind of things. I had some few people approach me to go a model for their clothing brand.
Okay.
So it started dawning on me that, okay, so if I have the
physique, yeah.
Why don't I do it for myself? Why don't I do it and then sell it? Why should I go
and model someone
else's, outfits?
Okay.
So that was the beginning of my thoughts into getting into fashion.
Okay. And so then you started, you take it from people, you take people's measurements and then you go and make it and all that. But then eventually you decided to get into the tailoring yourself, correct?
Yes. So I in fact, I even started with personal shopping. Bolare can testify to that.
Okay.
I would shop the choices of, items.
Yeah.
For busy people.
Who loved fashion, but they couldn't make the time.
They couldn't make the time. So I was the one doing those errands.
Okay.
Before I went into, the full-time fashion.
Okay.
But even, like I stated earlier, I started outsourcing.
Okay.
Before eventually getting into it full-time in 2020.
Now let me ask, why did you decide to now get into it full-time? Sometimes you hear experiences of how when you outsource, it may not come out exactly how you want it, or the timing and everything. What eventually led you to now start doing it on your own?
I believe that in business, when you're going to do business, you need to test the waters.
Okay.
So that you gain the experience, you get first-hand information about what is doable and what is not doable. So I didn't have to just... There were a lot of things that would usually go into it, because I didn't start it with any seed funding or whatever. I believe it was something that you don't need to go and get money from somebody
to go and take a loan or something.
To start it. It's something that you can start on your own.
That's
so the
true.
thought processes of how to start it without having to go and look for money to put in fixed assets, like going to rent an office or whatever. So I decided that, okay, let me get the customers first.
Okay.
And then move to the product itself.
Okay.
Once I have the customer, I can get the product. The customer pays me, and then I get the product, and then we are good. So with that, I can even start with a zero, capital. So that was the whole process. I didn't want to go through the stress of having to look for funding. Because I thought about it, and I feel this is the only way.
Okay.
So when I do that and I make some small coins,
yes, then
I can begin to start
putting in the other.
Time. Yeah. So that was exactly what happened.
How you did it. Okay.
Yeah.
And so, do you personally sew as well?
I don't really sew, but
okay.
yeah,
but you give the directions and
yes,
stuff
I
like
train
that.
tailors.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I can bring a tailor who is just average. The thing is, you should know how to cut and stitch, and I'll direct you exactly what to do, how to stitch,
And for the finishing to be neat.
Yes, on point. I do the quality checks myself, everything,
Okay. And so when you decided to do it on your own, what name did you choose?
Bondana.
What does it mean?
Bondana means it's a Frafra language.
Okay.
If I say, what's your name?
Nadede. It's a Ghana name.
If I say Nadede, it's Bondana. It means Nadede is wealthy. It's affluent.
Wow.
Yeah. So Bondana
so wealth.
in Frafra means affluence.
Affluence.
Wealth.
Okay.
Honor.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think the clothing actually speaks to that.
Yeah.
Bondana.
Yes.
Okay. When I have a child, I'll call my child Bondana.
Great.
I'll add it to my child's name.
And I'll tell you what is interesting about
the
name Bondana.
Yeah.
In the north we have different languages.
Yes.
Like Dagbani, Wala, Sisala, Frafra, Kusao. Bondana cuts across all those
languages.
Yes. Tanlisi and all those languages.
So it's quite universal
across the northern part.
Wow.
Except some few. So I had people asking me that, are you a Wala, are you a Dagomba, are you this, are you that? Because the word Bondana, it means the same.
Yes.
And it's pronounced the same.
Across board.
Yes.
Apart from just one or two.
Yeah, just one or two.
But that is a very smart thing to do. It's very, and when I hear some of these things, I'm always fascinated because I want to know the meaning behind the name, and it actually speaks to the work that you do. Now let's narrow it down to the outfit of January 7, 2025, which that picture will remain iconic forever because of the history of the person who actually wore the outfit, a former president who returned to office after 8 years. Let's talk about the thought process that went into the colors, the kente, and the symbols.
I think you stated earlier about the timing.
Yeah.
Because I started thinking about it early enough. It's something that you shouldn't just take for granted. It's unlike any other normal outfit. This is an outfit that all the accolades that came, that went to the president, to the nation, and to the fashion designer, and to the outfit itself, and even to the Adinkra people, symbols, like those people that first put those symbols. Like, it's all a 360-degree something. So I felt compelled to actually take my time to get it not perfect, but at least right.
Yeah.
So I started thinking about it 2 months ago.
2 months before the
elections. Before elections, actually.
2 months before elections. So that is October.
Yes.
October, November, then December, then we had the.
Yes.
No, but 2 months. That is very futuristic. Now we're going into an election where we didn't know what the outcome would be.
Yeah.
But here you were planning 2 months ahead of time. Let me understand. Still, what was the thinking process that went into, deciding from 2 months early on that you wanted to do this in case it happens?
Exactly. You just answered the question. In case
Yes,
it happens.
I asked a question and
In
answered.
business, we predict.
Yes.
You need to predict what if it happens.
Yeah.
So as a businessman, you always have to be positive. So I went for the positive part of it,
Yeah.
you know. So yeah, it could fall either ways. It was 50-50
Yeah.
for both candidates. So
Yeah.
I decided that, okay, let me start doing this. So I actually kept a lot of concepts together. And mind you, it's production. It's not just a one-day thing. Even if you want to, the lead time for making a bandana outfit is like two weeks.
Okay.
So you see, if you take 2 weeks away from 2 months, you realize that it's nothing.
Yeah.
And then the thought processes, and then sourcing of everything.
Yeah.
So I think it was the right time to start.
Yeah.
To give you ample time to be able to think, and also do consultation. Yeah.
And in fact, I'm very much impressed because, you know, a lot of the times we have challenges with people who make outfits for us. We will say that the person will give you a time frame. Sometimes you go and sit there till midnight to get your outfit. So the 2 months thought process actually would also allow you to make changes.
Exactly.
Should there be an issue with the outfits whatsoever?
Exactly.
Now let's talk about the kente that you chose. So I think that our people did, you know, put out the various meanings of the kente outfit. Let me get it, and then I would ask you how you settled on. So the kente, we are told, is called Emrepa Dawenim. Why did you choose, or did he have a hand in the kente that you chose, or you proposed it?
I proposed it.
Okay.
Because everything you do,
Yeah.
fashion is like, it's a creative. So you need to always speak to the event, you know, current events, and then the personality that is going to wear it. Looking at him, he proposed the idea of this. His main slogan was resetting the nation. A reset.
Yes.
And the reset wasn't happening in the past.
That's true.
Neither was it happening in the present, before the elections.
Yeah.
It could only be in the future.
In the future.
And then the resetting was not a reset for bad, but it was a reset for good. So I had to choose something that means there's hope for the future. So I looked for that kente. Because I know there are kentes that have different meanings.
Yes.
Like Fatia Fat and Kroma and all those. You understand? So I had to look for a kente with the meaning that speaks to
the future.
To the future.
In fresh beginnings.
Yeah.
So did you speak to someone who knows and understands, you know, kente and then the various, the weaves and then what it means and communicates?
You know, the internet is a great place to find information because...
That's very true.
When you are doing something of that nature, you need to also be as discreet as possible.
Yeah.
So I just searched the internet.
And you found it.
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's talk about the Idinkra symbols as well.
Okay.
Was it his selection, or like you were saying, because of what he had told you and everything around his story?
Not because of what he hadn't told me anything before.
No, you talk about the reset.
Yes,
that's what I'm referring.
Because of what he told Ghanaians.
Okay.
Not you.
So that's fine.
Yes.
So you, told us.
Yes.
So, just like how, what's the name? The musician, Nasi.
Yeah.
Talked about how he does the songs for John Mahama.
Exactly.
He talks about his message.
Yeah.
And so he factors the message into the music.
Yeah.
And I believe it's the same process for you. The message you factored into the design.
Yeah.
Now the Idinkra symbols, was it also in relation to the message he was communicating and the story around him as a person?
I think the Idinkra symbols have to do basically with the personality himself.
Okay.
President Mahama himself. Yeah.
Okay, so was that your selection to match his personality, or he says, I prefer these?
I had to research. I had to know who he is.
Okay.
You know, and to come up with what that may possibly reflect. Not, you know, if it was just he selecting it, that go and do this, it probably wouldn't have gotten the attention of the media.
That's true.
But you have to select something that maybe you can get a good percentage of people agreeing to it. So President Mohammed's personality is an open book. I think everybody knows who he is. And then the current events, should he come to power, what are likely to be the symbols that will best represent him? That's why I went for those 4.
Yes.
But of course, you are doing something for someone. In fashion, you always have to be doing consultation. You have to tell the person. If some people come to you and they know exactly what they want. In this case, I was proposing something to him. So I had to select those things and then get him to review them.
Okay.
For his approval. If they actually made sense to him. Even though he did not talk too much about it, but he didn't. I think he knows a lot.
Yeah.
So seeing them, he didn't say any words.
He's a man of few words, we are told.
Exactly, yeah. He didn't say any words. In fact, he didn't really concentrate much on them.
On the symbols.
I'm sure he probably knew what they meant. But I tried to explain to him why I kept them there, just to draw his attention.
I'm fascinated by the depth of your work, the thinking process that goes into everything that you put out there. It shows that you're very deliberate, and then you know very much what you want to put out there. Now, the reactions that have come up. No, before the reactions. So we've seen a video where he's with you. I believe it was you in the video, right? So he's with you and he's talking about how he wants the band to be a little bigger. Tell us about that. A lot of people are quite fascinated and interested in how that conversation went. Yes.
Yeah, so like I said earlier, I made a couple.
Okay.
I didn't just make one.
One, yes.
Yeah, I made a couple just to be sure that I was competitive. Because it's a selection process. I don't think I'm the only one who makes clothes for him.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I made a couple, and then he actually went for that idea of, the Ghana. In fact, I actually think that this thing is blowing because of his selection. Okay. If he hadn't selected that,
he hadn't chosen that one,
we wouldn't have been here.
That's true.
Because I didn't get it right straight with one thing.
Yeah.
And took it to him. No.
It was a process.
I took a couple of outfits.
I think I saw one where he said, and there's this concept. And that's where the video ends.
Yeah. I took a couple of them. I think at least 7 or 8.
No wonder you started 2 months earlier. Because you have a variety.
Exactly. For him to select the best. And he selected the best. So all these credits of this whole thing belong to him.
And, after everything, how, the whole focus has been on it. People have, commended it highly. They said it was simple and classy. And I believe that's the message of Bondana, that you want simple, classy, but makes a statement.
Yes, please.
How do you feel looking at the reaction you have gotten from the outfit he wore?
Well, I think it's normal. I feel normal, but I also feel proud as a Ghanaian.
Sure.
Because I stated earlier that if people hadn't started putting Adinkra symbols together, I wouldn't have been able to use them.
That's true.
So first of all, I'm just proud to be a Ghanaian. Yeah, because Ghana offered me the opportunity to showcase whatever I did to the world.
Now, first of all, how did your paths cross? I saw a video of Israel Live, for instance, talking about your work. And I think at that time, the president, then he wasn't the president yet, making his way to the shop. How did your paths cross? Was it a recommendation, or he's like you were talking about how people would see the outfit you wear and then they would say, "Oh, I'd like to get one of those." How did your paths cross?
That Israeli video was when the shop was launched.
Yes.
Yeah. One of the things that I do is prospecting for clients, and it's clothing. And then I deliberately wanted a certain kind of clientele. And those people, you don't easily get them.
You have to go to them.
You don't easily get them. You would have to study them and try something. Maybe you can give it to somebody to go and give to the person to try. That is fashion.
Yeah.
So I looked at him looked at his picture and then I tried to
Design
estimate.
something.
Yeah, I tried to estimate his
Measurements.
It's the same thing I did for a lot of people, not just him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I did that, and then I made some 2 or 3 of them, and then I sent it through someone, and it got delivered to him.
And he wore it.
God being so good, he wore it.
Wow.
Possibly maybe he liked a color that I use, but I'm also very subtle. Like
Yes.
when I started the brand,
Less
I
is
didn't.
more.
Yeah, I didn't want to be complicated, so I don't. If you look at my clothing, there are no designs, just simple.
Simple.
I think what he wore was about the biggest, complications I've ever made.
Okay.
Everything is simple.
Does it have a picture around? Have you seen a picture of it around? Or
The outfit?
the one you made for him, the sample you made, right? That was delivered to me. He wore it.
No, I don't have.
You don't have a picture.
No,
Okay,
I don't.
okay,
I don't.
okay. So you're referring to the one he wore on the inauguration day as is one of the most,
It is the most
elaborate,
complicated. Yeah, because of the occasion.
Yes.
Yeah,
Wow. But I'm sure the occasion warranted it.
exactly.
So,
Maybe.
and that's why it's such a statement.
Yeah.
For many Ghanaians that
Yeah,
are
and if
looking.
you check about the simplicity, you realize that in the video he was. The kente, I tried to put the kente there, but I was also very careful not to
Yes.
make it too loud.
Yes.
Until he himself
Said
approves.
yeah.
Like you could, he suggested that we could actually make it,
Yes.
and then we brainstormed, and it was okay.
Yes. Well, that is, congratulations to you.
Thank you.
And we wish you the very best.
Thank
in
you.
this, and I'm sure this is further going to open doors to a bigger clientele as well. And it promotes Ghana.
Amen.
Like you were saying,
Yeah.
it's about Ghana.
Yeah.
And so, great gratitude to the people that came up with it, the Nkra symbols, the kente and everything, and all that.
Yeah.
Those kind of attires, they are very complicated. For me, I feel like it's a lot to wear.
Yeah.
Because you have to constantly be paying attention. And you know how the kentes were at the end, and so when he puts it here, then you see everything. Have you
Yeah.
had the chance to meet him afterwards or
No,
interact
no,
with him
no,
afterwards?
I haven't.
Okay, but I'm sure it's going to open bigger doors for you.
Amen.
And may you continue to be excellent.
Amen.
And I
Thank
hope
you.
that other people are equally learning, because imagine you didn't deliver on the day, you
Yeah.
will not be here.
Yeah.
So excellence is the name of the game.
Thank
And
you.
So all the best and congratulations once again. Thank you so much for gracing our studios. And I'm sure right now your phones and everything is buzzing. I'll have to go and even follow you on Instagram as well to see more designs as well. So
Thank you.
well done once again.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming. So that is Matthew Agambire. He is the gentleman behind the president's now very famous outfits. It's going to be there forever. You know how when you are doing a recall, some pictures never leave the internet. Whenever you type his name, it will pop up in the Google search with that particular outfit, with his stuff as well. So your name has been etched in the sands of history.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. He will also be on our sister station, GH1 Television, shortly. So those of you, in case you just missed it, you can also follow that conversation on social media as well with Sewami when he joins her for that conversation.